My name is David Reed. I'm with Nicole
Hello.
and Evie,
Hello.
and we're watching Stargate SG1 Season 5, Episode 8, The Tomb. And that was a ziggurat.
That is a ziggurat.
Not a
And
pyramid, a
So I
ziggurat.
wanted to mention straight off the bat, it is worth noting that this episode won a Leo Award in 2001 for Best Production Design in a Dramatic Series,
yes,
and Peter West was also nominated for Best Cinematography.
yep, I'd love to have him on.
That would be so cool. So this is a Malozzi and Mully episode
Mm-hmm.
directed by Peter DeLuise.
Yeah, Ivana Vosic
This is
did the set design on this. It was brilliant, and if you'll
Yep.
notice,
Mm.
with the angles, the gold corridors are behind these, so they just built on top of
Oh,
them.
that's amazing.
Oh,
Yep.
that's cool.
I had no idea.
I love how they're able to do that.
I love that. And then it's like, isn't it a pack of cigarettes on the floor?
That's right.
Cool.
Yes.
It was only a matter of time before this was a problem again.
Yeah, I do find this
Mm.
really cool that like the Russians have the other gate and
They sure
butts
do.
around.
So I think this scene could have had like a CSI style transition to the opening credits with
Yeah.
Jack putting on his sunglasses and saying something like, "Where there's smoke, there's fire."
That is exactly what I would have wanted.
The
Yeah.
tomb is good. Gecko Fet Web. Was it a matte painting? So yes, that was a matte painting.
Love those matte
Introducing the scene.
paintings.
The tomb set is on stage 5, next door to the SG1 set. Atlantis will eventually be in stage 5.
Ah, that's a cool bit of trivia.
Stage 4 and 5 were together in one building.
Ah.
Would they like have lunch together ever? Because they were like between sets, like they were like quite close together. Would they be like, "Hey, Atlantis, do you want let's hang out?" Or do they just not have time for that?
Have lunch together.
Yeah.
There was, I mean, the crews. Did they lunch at the same time?
That's what I'm wondering. Yeah, did they ever get the
Every day
chance?
was different, depending on what they were shooting. I suspect that
Yeah.
they did.
He's so cute. I would love some
That
pictures.
is cute.
Yep.
Sharing tables together,
Yeah.
splitting desserts.
Oh,
What episode are
the
you on,
craft
James?
It's
service,
adorable.
the craft service tent was awesome, and the craft service, the catering was good.
Ah.
Yeah.
Jealous that David knows this.
So, coming up, probably, it's probably in another minute or so, but the photo featured on the second to last Russian officer's dossier is Peter DeLuise.
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant.
Colonel or Doctor Britsky, whoever the guy with the white beard, that's Douglas
Yes.
MacLean.
Ah, because to me it looks like Greg Davies from Taskmaster UK.
The final image on the right is Doug MacLean. So
Do
Oh
you
yeah,
think it looks
Yeah.
like Greg Davies from Taskmaster?
I see it.
the Eye of
Yeah.
Marduk, the Eye of Tiamat.
Tiamat.
Yeah, which was a dragon, I
Yeah.
believe.
Ah.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so that's 57 degrees Celsius.
Yes,
Whoa.
it's quite hot. I have experienced 135 Fahrenheit.
That's nuts.
It was.
So I thought it
I'm
gets
glad I have
very
it.
hot.
That's just, well, you just can't, you wouldn't be able to breathe.
It was very hard.
To quote Monica from that one episode of Friends, the humidity. Too much.
I experienced it with like 30% humidity, so pretty low.
Wow,
Oh,
at least
that's
at least
all
there
right.
was that. So when Daniel speculates that the Russians opened the temple, I wanted to rephrase a quote from The Mummy, like
Oh,
the first
boy.
movie,
Oh my
and
God, yes.
say no harm ever came from opening a door, but there's always a first time.
That's true.
Yeah. I love
Well,
Jack's
I
reaction.
mean-
He's like, "Excuse me,
Yep.
what?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Joe Malozzi's blog, he clarified that Jack's attitude towards the Russians isn't due to a Cold War mindset. He
Oh.
said that Jack would have reacted similarly if the team was from another country,
Mm,
as his issue was with them being imposed on him
mm.
and potentially challenging his command, not their nationality. So,
That
as it
makes me feel
turns
better.
out, they did end up having a secret mission of their own, which ends up conflicting with SG1's mission. But
Hmm.
yeah, that aside.
Oh
Apparently, in
boy.
terms of
Goodness.
timelines, this is supposed to have taken place 10 months after Watergate.
Wow. Shist. The
Yeah, because
consistent
Cigarettes.
joke.
yeah, because Svetlana Markov is familiar with Colonel Zhukov.
Yes,
Mm.
yes.
Those names.
I know. It seems like Daniel and Sam don't recall Marduk, even though his name has actually come up before.
Mm.
So Kendra mentioned him back in Thor's Hammer as the Goa'uld who abducted her from her homeworld.
Really?
Ah.
Yeah. Um,
How could he have done that if he was in prison?
Hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't write these scripts.
interesting. Maybe another Goa'uld posing as him.
Yeah, so I wanted to just mention some of the cast here. Valarin is played by Alexander Kalajin, and I apologize if I'm mispronouncing any of these names. This is actually his third and final appearance on Stargate. He previously appeared as a rogue NID member in Shades of Grey and a bodyguard in Divide and Conquer.
Hmm.
But both roles are uncredited. And Zukov is played by Earl Pastko.
Mm-hmm.
This is his only Stargate appearance, but he's actually best known for his minor role in the John Travolta film Battlefield Earth, based on the
Ah.
book by Scientology
Yep.
founder L. Ron
Ron
Hubbard.
Hubbard.
And he also featured in 3 episodes of Orphan Black as Bulldog.
Oh.
And Marchenko and Tolonev. So the Russian team also includes Vitaly Kravchenko as Dr. Marchenko and Jennifer Haley as Lieutenant Tolonov. So while this is Vitaly's only Stargate role, he's actually no stranger to working with his co-star Alexander Kalajin. So both played slam bosses in the Chronicles of Riddick. And despite often portraying Russians, Vitaly is actually Ukrainian.
Hmm.
Makes
And
sense.
Jennifer is well known for her role as Ensign Diana Hardball
Battlestar
Celix in Battlestar
Galactica.
Galactica. And
Yeah.
Yep.
interestingly, we brought this up before. She was actually in the running to portray Sam's protege, Jennifer Haley.
That's
Ah.
correct. And she has the name.
She does have the name exactly. And also the Russian team's patches display 3B1, which actually translates to SG1.
So we just blew over here that the DHD was taken by the Red Army
Uh-huh.
in World War II. And that is a direct plug into Stargate Origins. That is why the
Yeah.
Germans have the
Yes.
DHD.
Yes,
And there's
that's
a line
good
that
tie
says it's
tie
just
tie-in.
Yep, one of the Germans says it's just like the one in Berlin. So
That's
Stargate
crazy.
Origins does have SG1 elements.
Yes, it does have its role.
Stargate
So,
Origins was
Mic
actually
drop.
like it had so many interesting little moments in it, and I appreciate
Whether
them.
you like it or
Yeah, I
not,
need to
there's
rewatch
Goa'uld,
it.
there's Harcesis, and that was a big one. And
I watched it the second I won the competition for the Stargate Superfan thing.
Yep.
I was like, right, got to catch up. So
So, um, in the credits, Lieutenant Tolonov's last name is mistakenly uses the masculine suffix. So
Yep.
it should actually be Toloneva.
Never, yeah.
But some of the dubs fix this, and sometimes if you listen, the actors do actually correctly call her
Interesting.
Toloneva.
Yeah, I was gonna say when it comes to any Eastern European names like that. So like my boyfriend pointed out that so his last name is Edrev with a V just at the end, and his dad is Edrev, but his sister and his mother are Edreva.
Trevor. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. I think we did mention this last time we had the Russians in Watergate.
Yeah.
If you
I'm
say
sure
it
came up.
wrong, is it a sign of disrespect to them?
Maybe, I
know.
don't know, maybe not so much this day and age, but
I think in this day and age,
maybe
it's definitely
prior.
people are used to it, especially with how the
Yeah.
rest of the world works. You know,
Yeah.
like nobody really adds the feminine on the end
Mm.
except that region. So
Yeah.
they'd understand
So
that we'd make a boo-boo.
I was going to mention the weapon preferences. So
Mhm.
Zhukov's preference for the M85 apparently is a strange choice since it uses NATO rounds, not the typical Russian armor. The M85 was initially designed for use by the Yugoslavians military before the nation divided. So it's not a Russian weapon.
Stay in close formation. If you get separated, maintain contact on channel 3.
Yes. Thank you. A little translation.
Oh, did you know that?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's coming through obviously in the text that we see, but I did
Yes.
actually find that online as well.
Yep.
Dear, oh dear.
Oh, here
So
we
with
go.
the Russian uniforms, the Russian troops are actually wearing black berets, which is a detail that suggests they're actually part of the naval infantry, Russia's equivalent to the Marines.
No, sir.
We're being good boys, don't worry.
And he slaps the gate.
Yes,
The
I
puddle.
love that actually.
Yeah.
I don't know
That's
why.
kinda
That was
do.
$5,000. That was a $5,000 slap.
Honestly.
Yeah, I love this
It-
look.
it-
This is a great look.
It's
Yes,
like in
he's like, yes,
200
I'm gonna
when he
behave
decided to have the
while
puppet
trying to.
point, and it's like, wow, thank
Yep.
you, RDA. But look, he's stretching sci-fi, you know. He's like, hey, look, they
That's
can do
it.
it. So-
Yeah. So in
Good
his
painting.
blog, Joe Malozzi praised the set design for this episode and expressed regret at not taking a souvenir stone before it was dismantled.
Aw.
There were plenty to go around, that's for sure.
Oh, there would have
Yeah.
been.
Jeez.
Uh-huh. This was Evie earlier trying to figure out how to get her computer
This
to
is
work
me,
properly.
yes.
I love that he wiped his bum of sand. I would do the same. He
Yeah,
got up
you
and
don't want
wiped
a
his
sandy
bum.
bum.
Absolutely.
So apparently Daniel's terminology is slightly off. So it should be Babylonian, not Babylonian.
Ah.
Babylonian? Interesting. Well,
Babylonian.
half the world says nuclear, and it drives me nuts. And etc. Ugh.
Yeah, isn't it nuclear? Who says
Correct.
nuclear?
Talk to anyone. Every other person will say nuclear. Nuclear.
Ew.
Yeah.
I think I do, but that's with my
Wait,
bad
I've got an
Australian
important
accent.
question. I've got an important question. Is it aluminium or aluminum?
But if you're so regionally, if you're matching the spelling, it is aluminium, but we don't say it like that.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So it's the same way it grinds my gears when someone says aluminum, and I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, but
again-
you say laboratory. You know, I mean, it's laboratory. No, it's just laboratory. Yeah, that's how you.
I
that's
say
how-
lavatory. Do people say lavatory?
Laboratory.
Laboratory.
Oh, laboratory. So I thought about
Yeah.
toilets. My brain. I've always got
there's
toilet
all
brain.
kinds of words that the Brits shorten. So
Yeah.
laboratory.
Gotta save that money.
You say
Gotta save
you
that
say
money for
laboratory.
newspapers.
It's laboratory. So come on, I don't want to hear any more of it. So, that's my whole point. We cut out words. You cut out words. Life.
We all do silly things.
That's it.
It all has the same meaning though, regardless of how it's pronounced.
It's funny.
right?
We all get it. We're just nitpicky.
That's funny. So Michael Shanks actually said that he really enjoyed playing Daniel in this episode because the character got to use his archaeological expertise and it had the team deciphering old languages and solving puzzles, and
a
it really
while.
played to his strengths.
Oh, it's a Tomb Raider kind of episode, literally.
It is a Tomb Raider.
Indiana Jones.
Yes, it does give off indie vibes.
Daniel left the whip at home. I can't believe that he tries to he makes that kind of
Oh,
flirty comment.
at
season eight.
a funeral. It's so awkward. Who brings up whips at a funeral?
Ugh.
You can see the gold walls.
I really can.
That's true.
Now
That
you
like
pointed
the
it out.
angles, they're like, yeah.
You know what? It makes sense that there's a gold ziggurat and that the architecture would be very similar.
And
Like
it's
it just
it
makes
has
sense.
it has the shape of a pyramid. So
Yeah.
yep, it really works.
That was a really good design decision to make
Uh-huh.
everything just look like a pyramid, and then they could just reuse and recycle.
Oof.
He's not going to be identifying anytime soon.
No.
Does that amount of deterioration make sense, or was he eaten?
He was eaten, wasn't
He's
he?
been eaten.
Yeah.
So I think we had this issue as well in Watergate, but the Russian soldiers, including the corpses, are wearing American style dog tags.
Ooh.
Oh yes, I remember you mentioning that now. It was bitten, little teeth. Suddenly gets really scary. But I honestly, so when I was watching this on my own in my room when I was like, no, in the living room when I was like 8, I remember looking around into the darkness behind me because all this is just dark creepiness and the music.
Yeah.
I was like, I could not have picked a worst episode to watch before bed in the dark.
So Marchenko apparently says, "Oh my God" in Russian, but the closed captions are translated as "holy," and then I'll insert swear words
Excrement.
with the acronym "ship hyperdrive intergalactic transport."
Yeah.
You know, like instead of people say like
Yeah.
sugar honey iced tea.
Yeah.
Evie, I loved that. That was beautiful.
Well, there's a
Try and
lot
make it
of
Stargate
mix-ups with curse words.
Yeah.
Cam says to Daniel in Mandarin "chuneda," which one person says "screw you" and another person says "go f yourself." So the translations
okay.
are
Yeah, a little
tricky.
bit off.
Yeah.
My boyfriend loves pointing out all the inaccuracies in it, like Eastern European stuff. So like we're watching the TV show Shadow and Bone, and they use the kind of like the Cyrillic alphabet in that because it's supposed to be based in like a Tsarist kind of Russia. That the kind of timeline in an alternate universe. And he was like, yeah, that's spelled completely wrong. That's completely they've biffed that. And I'm like, well, yeah. And he finds it really fun to nitpick.
So, why do you think that Zukov didn't just lie about following Jack's order? Do you think it was out of respect for Jack, or because he knew they'd find out the truth when they investigated the sarcophagus? Like, could it be about maintaining sort of honor in a military context?
Yeah, I think he probably does
What
have
do you guys
respect
think?
for O'Neill, so he's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
just
Because he just
whatever he's
chooses- he
going to
doesn't-
right. He doesn't just pretend that we're gonna wait.
Yeah, he just
well, and even if he does,
ignores
they're
it.
going to find out momentarily
Yeah.
that he lied. So
I always found this upcoming death a bit silly.
yeah, it's shot
a bit much.
poorly.
Yeah.
it is a little bit, yeah.
They do a fair enough job, but I think it would have benefited from us seeing a little bit more of the crushing,
Yes.
so that we'd
Yeah.
have like a more visceral reaction.
I don't know. He's kind of
it's-
just like standing underneath pillar. and
It's
then
like
it just
it's like he's like,
collapses on
oh
him.
no, I've been caught. Tragedy.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like trying to actually get out of there, my guy.
Yeah, I get the feeling watching this that
Like, he's
okay,
trying to
well,
It's
hold it
very
open.
slow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just looks like it's happening in slow-mo.
yeah.
It's like he tried to hold it up so it wouldn't close, and it's like,
Right.
bruh, just move and tell Stargate Command.
It feels like the story was running out of an excuse to get rid of some of these officers, so they just like did it with this one this way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
know.
maybe.
So
I mean, I think you guys were gonna step on that no matter what,
Yeah, well, that's basically what his reasoning is.
yeah.
Someone was going to set it off eventually.
yep.
Like he would have if Daniel, Sam, or Teal'c had done it, he wouldn't have yelled as much.
Yeah.
That's very
Ugh.
Whoa.
That's so dark. So, does anybody else have the urge to yell, "What's in the box?
Yeah.
What's in the
Yeah,
box?"
we're standing over this thing. Come on now.
Yeah, there's a dead guy in there. Let's
Yeah.
open it. We know what it's
Yeah.
about. I love the way that Daniel's always like, "Where's the button?" While everyone else is always like, "Just get it open."
Oh, for crying
Well,
out
that's
loud.
what Jack does. He just goes at it with a knife.
Yeah, like Vala tries to go for what they think might be the Ark of Truth with
Yeah.
a pickaxe.
That's it. I think the last time we saw this thing was 201.
It's been a
It's been a
while.
while.
It has been
Yeah.
a while.
Hello, Marduk.
So, isn't it funny though that despite Jack mispronouncing Marduk as Marduk, I think is how he says it,
Mhm.
Yeah.
he's not had any issues getting any of the Russian team members'
Mhm.
names right in this episode.
It's like a weird
it kind of
respect.
goes to show that he's not as clueless as he sometimes makes himself out to be.
Marduk is
Yeah.
also a common pronunciation.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Because someone suggested online that the mispronunciation was a reference to Murdoch, who's MacGyver's arch nemesis.
Ah, okay.
But I think that's a pretty
I would love that.
strange reference. Yeah.
I have heard Marduk repeatedly in reference to this god,
Oh, right.
with eyes on all sides of his head. Oh,
Oh,
here
God.
we go.
I'm not gonna lie, this gives me like my spider phobia.
Yeah,
I can't do it.
Yep.
And as Evie lives in the land of the most evil spiders, like I'm sure she
Cuneiform.
I like these archaeological lamps. They're so cute. The one
Yep.
that Daniel's holding. He looks so cute with it.
While Daniel
It
is
is cute.
Danieling.
Yeah. Oof.
No, SGC will come and get him.
Mm.
Bury yourselves.
Yeah, that might not work.
He got it right.
He
so
did
proud
get
of
it
him.
right. High five, Jack.
Do you think he did it just to like you seem smarter? He's just like he
know.
purposefully has been getting it wrong the whole time, and this time he's been like, oh yeah, look, I know my stuff.
I mean, if I use like an unusual word, my dad will use it repeatedly for the next like hour or so, just to
Just
you know.
just to be silly.
Well, he's pointing out that you didn't have to use that word.
He's roasting
did
you.
Right,
Oh,
exactly.
okay.
And the
Wow.
fact of the matter is, I use big words often to hide my insecurities. So
I was gonna say, is that the reason? Dear oh dear. I'm
Aw.
sorry, David.
Well, I used to be obsessed with carrying around a thesaurus so that I could.
you nerd. You're so
I
cute.
know. I used to try and, I guess,
That is pretty
extend my
nerdy.
vocabulary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is official. This is one of the cringiest descriptions. Did we already pass it? Officially, the worst way to go.
Oh, yeah.
The symbiote would
Yeah,
have
I
regenerated
think
him
we
against
passed
still
it,
ate
yeah.
him. That is just brilliant.
Yeah.
It's just the thought of it is just awful.
Yeah,
So
The mummy vibes.
yeah.
well, I was
So-
going to say the method of entombing someone in a sarcophagus with a creature does
That
echo a
eats
similar
them while
scene
it
in
regenerates
The
them.
Mummy.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the regeneration part, but
What
the
a horrific
being
way to
entombed.
go,
That's
but
the
if you
point.
deserve
Creature.
it, then nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am enjoying this episode. It's just having
Yeah, it's just
fun.
it's a really compact, Indiana Jones
Yeah.
This is true.
without the big boulders
Yeah.
and the whip.
I'd love for Daniel to have that whip.
This set
And
is
the
so
bags of
good.
sand to kind of like balance out the
Oh,
that pedestal.
they had sand in their ears for weeks. They said took them forever to
bet.
get it out.
So Nicole kind of touched on this a little bit earlier, but like as an Australian, like I'm obviously no stranger to big bugs and insects,
Damn
but
right.
that this like wet scuttling noise that there
Mhm.
is, it just gets me every time, and I'm basically like instinctively lifting my feet off the floor just
That's what
in
I just
case.
did. That's what I just did. I did not
it
like that at all.
slithers and it crawls. So
Yeah.
It does.
It's
Have
like
you-
a it's
you've
like
seen
a
the
land
concept art
squid.
for it, right?
Land squid.
Yes,
It's
yeah, I
quite
did look at the concept
extraordinary.
art.
Yeah. We have found Douglas MacLean.
Keep an eye on him. He's touching stuff, Teal. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Tilt just leaves him there.
Yeah. It's way too trustworthy. And what else?
I need to get
I love
some
that-
of these Russians on my show.
Daniel's
Yes.
just like sat in that creepy ass room all by his lonesome. Like, poor
Yeah.
guy.
He's got it.
He's got the
Where is the
eye.
Yeah. One of my irritations about the choice of this actor who plays the lieutenant, the Russian lieutenant, is that once the Goa'uld takes over, he still has a Russian accent.
Yes, I noticed that when I was rewatching it yesterday,
Yeah.
and I was like, "That's an interesting
Yeah.
choice."
Yep.
And then I was trying to think of other people who've been taken over by Goa'uld and what accent they had.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad one of them makes it.
No, not me. I think Sam's kind of busy right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hi, this is Sam Carter. I'm a little busy taking out a creature. Leave your message at the tone, and I'll get back to you when I'm back on Earth.
Yeah.
Beep. The bite is interesting.
It is interesting.
Land squid vampire over here.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Land squid. He does look like a land squid with teeth.
Yeah.
And by the by, I'm referring to the Goa'uld.
Yeah.
I want it noted, this is a fishy creature that I'm not into.
No, well, it doesn't have any like human elements. I think
No.
the 50 creatures that you like are sort of hybrids.
Mhm.
Exactly. Like the Wraith. They're quite hot.
No, the Wraith creep me out, I think, more than anything else on Stargate.
They are snack. I'd be their snack.
No, they're like, to me it would be like coriander, which I hate.
I like
I'm not
coriander.
snacking on coriander.
We cannot get out.
Oof.
They are coming. Drums. Drums in the deep. Does no one get the reference?
No.
Shame on all of you. Someone in the chat
Oh,
will.
I'm sorry. But I did really appreciate your deep voice then.
So did I.
Yeah.
I think of it every time I see this scene. Oh, cyanide pills.
Brutal.
Yeah.
It's not going to work.
Mm.
Oh, now you care.
I think he was just being really like just show offy initially. He's being like, yeah, it's fine, I'm good, but actually it's not.
Wow, the detailed
That's
sketch.
a great
Jacob
scene.
got it. Lord of the Rings reference. Yes!
Oh, yes.
Oh, okay.
I've only ever
Lord
seen
of
the
the
films
Rings is
once.
Oh,
Not
you
really my
suck.
thing. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We have to all sit
Sorry,
down and watch
dude.
it at some point.
Oh,
extended
extended
edition.
editions
made me watch
in
the
like
first
a
one.
a day.
I
and
hated
was
it.
long.
You hated it. Okay.
Yeah. I was so bored.
I will say it's not for me.
But it was
It
just
might-
it was,
yeah,
you know,
my
it was
dad
the
hated it
world
too.
building and stuff.
Yep.
It was the first movie that I saw.
I wouldn't say that. We're left to rescue.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. So Sam got it.
It's wounded.
The way it just like falls on her shoulder is absolutely
Oh, I know.
beautiful.
It's a great scene,
That
yeah.
stuff that nightmares
It
are
is.
made.
Hate it.
That's it.
The way Teal'c opens it up. Ugh.
As Adam says sometimes, thanks, I hate it.
Yeah. That's me when I play most games where it gets creepy. I'm like, thanks, I hate it. You know, like stop.
So, Jack just said stay sharp. So, considering the creature's teeth, do you think stay sharp was a unintentional pun, or do you think it was used
It may have been
deliberately?
unintentional. Yeah. I don't think it's deliberate. I have a question for everybody to put in the chat. I'm curious. If you watch the show with us while you watch it, if you watch it muted, type 0 and enter. If you watch it with the volume low, type 1 and enter. And if you watch it at regular volume while you watch it with us, type 2 and enter. I'm curious
Yeah,
to
that'd
know
be
all your
interesting to know.
preferences.
Yeah.
'Cause-
And if you just listen to us as a
so,
podcast,
for
just- I
instance,
don't know. Just
yeah.
put 0 for that.
So as an example, for me, This would be the correct answer. So,
I love that. So we got a 1 and a 1. Lot Quattro and Diada.
Yeah, I'm a 1.
buddy, you
I'm a
are
1.
being hunted.
Oh, Nick and I between 1 and
Yeah.
2. Oh, Becca 2. Nice.
Thanks, guys. Good to know.
Most people are 1s. That's really nice. Appreciate that.
So they still listen.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you've got the excellent music
You sure
And
do.
if we're a podcast, it just
the
puts
the
0 as
scuttling,
well.
squelchy noise.
Yeah.
And just like that, he becomes a Goa'uld.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bluetooth hearing aids. Candy Mitch. Wow.
The commitment. Damn, Ben, I got YouTube ads. I don't know what these
Yes.
numbers are for.
Sorry.
Do you watch us with no sound on the episode, some sound on the episode, or full sound on the episode?
0, 1, and 2, respectfully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Becky phone in one ear, Stargate on TV. I can hear both clearly. Love that.
This is a great conversation, and I love the lighting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding, Zukov. I'll shoot you. He did great in this.
Yeah.
He did.
I
was
should
gonna say
have an
that's
episode of the
so-
whole Russian team back.
That would be awesome.
Them Russians. Oh, those Russians, to quote a fantastic song by Boney
I'll
M.
just say, yes, yes.
Really want to sing it now.
Oh,
You're gonna take Canada now.
Rasputin,
Lover
lover of the
of- it's so
Russian
good.
queen.
We're gonna do that when we meet up.
You cannot tell that there's going to be something happening.
Yeah.
Well, okay,
Slap.
so
There it
Cool.
Gross.
I do not
So,
sense the presence of a Goa'uld.
But what's interesting is this the first instance where Tilk has demonstrated the ability to sense a symbiote? Because like he didn't pick it up in the line of duty with Jolinar, and in Nirity just a few episodes back, there was nothing mentioned either.
Yep. That's true.
Tilt's Gould senses aren't always working.
That is a big
This wasn't
animal.
Yeah.
this like land squid wasn't the thing that came out of that cocoon, was it? 'Cause that
What
looks
else
more
was
like-
there? Yeah,
But
that's
that looks
it.
more like it looked more like a
A
cockroach.
spider. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was it. There's not another creature
Yeah.
running around. So
Yeah, I can see its claw right there. That is it. It's just
yeah,
I
it's
guess
half
just
claw,
looks
half
similar.
half squid.
Maybe it like went through like a weird reverse shed
Yeah.
where it was
There
like
may have been,
reverse
like-
storylines.
Shed.
Yeah.
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 Okay, so guys, so now it's time for another thrilling round of everybody's favorite game show, Who's That Host? Let's find out who puts the eye in symbiote today.
Oh gosh.
Evie,
Evie.
why are you like this?
Oh,
It's brilliant.
Just like
She
to make
funny.
yourself laugh.
The commitment as well to like the actual like host tone was just
Oh,
brilliant.
I think I could have probably taken it up a notch.
Nah, it's too early for that. For you.
It's too early. Plus, I'm trying to keep it down because Adam's still sleeping.
That's what I mean. Yeah, rules out him. Rules out you.
Mm-hmm.
I love the way they
Here we
immediately
go.
turned at
Yeah.
each other. They immediately like,
I
like
love how they
what?
quickly just draw weapons on each other. It's great.
They thought about it for like a half a second. It's like, oh,
But they stay like this for ages.
yeah.
And he's got the laser like right
He
at his throat.
does.
Brilliant.
This is a good scene.
Yeah.
Colonel, respond. Have you figured out your circumstance? We have a
It's
bit of a
pending.
stalemate, right?
They should just both walk back to the main room while pointing their guns at each
Well,
other.
yes.
Sidestep the whole way. Dear, oh dear.
You both have reasons to suspect the other, and both are kind of valid.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
This is why these kinds of like games when you play like something like One Night Ultimate Werewolf when you're trying to figure out the reasoning behind people's decision making, it's like you really do just fumble yourself when you get too deep because everyone's got
Yeah.
reasons for stuff.
He's so good. I've got to have them on.
Yeah.
I think you have to
It's
try
one
to reach
episode,
out.
but yeah, I haven't
Yeah,
tried. There are hundreds of actors.
there really
Yes.
is.
I've talked with
A lot.
115 of them for Dial the Gate alone.
Oh,
200 of them
wow.
if you include everything with Gate World. So
I feel like you need like a tally etched into one of your walls at home.
Yeah.
it would
So,
make things simpler.
So, considering the ziggurat was abandoned for centuries and Tilk didn't know about Apophis's shield technology, this sort of suggests that the technology was either highly secretive or didn't exist when Marduk was entombed 2,000 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
Fair
just interesting to
point.
think.
Fair point.
Someone on Reddit said that while Daniel is acting completely Daniel-esque, Sam and Tilk decide to double check just in case.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wouldn't be continuing to translate.
I don't think so. No, I think his motives would lie elsewhere.
Hello.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
The way he's just walked
It's
in on this
like,
is like, what's happening,
well, it
guys?
says like, what are you doing? And
Yeah.
I was like, I think this is called the symbiote suspicion standoff.
Mm. I like that none of them are thinking, oh yeah, the guy who's like been alone.
He
Uh-oh.
doesn't even hold up the gig for too long. He just like starts talking like a
Yep.
Goa'uld like almost straight
He sure
away.
did.
Yeah. He just
But you
wants
know, we are
out.
running out of time because we only
Yeah.
have what like less than 10 minutes to go.
Furious Tosh said this episode is kind of bonkers. Yeah.
It's a good show. Oh boy, here we go.
It's bonkers in a good way.
Oh, sure. Ah, crap.
Dear,
Mm.
oh dear. Dear. Uh-huh. For your insolence.
Yep. That is an insolence backhanded
Yes,
slap.
it
Yeah.
really is.
I spit at thee. What a face that guy had. I love it.
He's
I
got
know.
such strong
Yeah.
expressions. It's
He
like
Absolutely.
actually
does.
scary.
Very animated. Okay, so I wanted to jump in here now. I know it's a couple of minutes too early, but I wanted to take a moment to spotlight Gary Chalk as he steps into
Yes.
his role as Colonel
Yes.
Chekhov in the dying minutes of this episode.
Yeah.
So apparently his character's name isn't actually disclosed until 48 hours, but it's a tribute to Star Trek's, and I apologize if I mispronounce this, Pavel
Pavel
Chekhov.
Chekhov.
So
Is it
Gary
deliberately?
actually apparently, yeah.
Oh.
Gary actually features in 10 Stargate episodes as the most prominent non-American Tari until the show's final season. So as a friend of the producer N. John Smith, Gary was guaranteed a Stargate spot quite early on, but he had to wait 5 years for the right character fit. And beyond Stargate,
Wow.
he's actually famed for his deep voice in
Mhm.
various Sonic the Hedgehog series, and he actually did also do some work on the 2020 film with Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
And he's
Oh.
also voiced roles in Madeline with Stargate's Britt Irvin as and My Little Pony. And he did collaborate with fellow guest star John Delancey.
Wow.
And Gary's ties to the franchise extend to earlier work on MacGyver and 21 Jump Street. And he also worked on Border Town, which shared the set with Beast
Previous
of
episode.
Burden and
Yeah.
100 Days, which is cool.
Zukov's
and,
out of the picture.
Yes.
See, that's why you don't use C4 in a ziggurat.
Yes.
I think that well, I'll wait just a second here.
Mm.
to get us out of here.
I really like the ending shot when the whole ziggurat blows.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yes.
looking forward to it.
It just sort of sneaks up from behind, scanning for a Goa'uld.
Yeah, I love that. It's like, yeah, thanks for checking in on me. Yeah.
I actually like Jack's expression and his gesture when the just before the pyramid collapses.
Yep.
This is
Cute.
this is
So you mean the ziggurat?
this is
Evie.
the
Yeah, sorry,
Shredder, the Shredder shot from TMNT 2, the original from the
Yeah.
90s.
Oh.
All
I
right.
do love this. Is such a good moment. Will
Not when
you?
you're squashed.
Yeah, you're not our first Gould, my
Yeah.
guy. Peace out.
Ah, yeah, the old hidden C4.
Yeah. Later.
Little wave. The way he just
Oh,
goes.
man, I know.
So cool.
Boom.
Did
So,
he try to raise his shield there? It looked like a little
might
shield
have
appeared
done,
or
yeah.
something.
So,
Okay.
according to Gary Chalk, he actually spent 2 weeks working with a dialect
Yep.
coach to nail a speech in Russian, only for it to be cut because the episode was running too long.
Oh.
Yep. And
Um,
he let him say it anyway because I worked
They
on
did,
this.
yeah, because he'd had
Yeah.
he'd had it so like practiced and down pat. Interestingly, Chekhov is wearing Soviet era collar tabs, which were actually phased out in 1992.
Ooh.
Oh.
We don't usually have wrap-ups like this one. This is
Yeah.
called
No.
Tag.
Well, this is not SG1's first rodeo, guys.
Yeah.
Mm.
I actually really like this guy. Like, I think he's a
I
great
think he does
character.
a
Gary's
really
great.
good job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you
Like
talking
I
Chekhov?
think that he's just doing what. Yeah, I think he's a great performance. I think he's just doing what he's doing for his people. I don't disagree with him.
Anubis will recover it.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say, so we don't actually find out how he extracted it from the rubble.
Tractor beams.
But tractor beams.
I'm kidding. He's got Asgard technology at that point.
That's true, yeah.
Oh boy.
I think you would.
Yeah,
my guy.
I would.
Yep. And he knows
got
he's
a
right.
lot.
Look at the look.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
does. He
Yeah.
does.
We are in this now.
This is planet
So,
Earth, not
Thanks,
planet America.
replicators.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So, a Redditor said that they were disappointed that Jack never called him Marmaduke in this episode because it was all set up and he didn't. He actually sort of, for the most part, pronounced it correctly.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Jed Ted, for your Star Trek 4 reference. Chekhov, Pavel, rank admiral.
Oh, cute.
I don't know how to feel about this episode. I'm looking forward to
Really?
picking it apart politely
really?
in a minute.
Yeah?
This is an episode that I enjoyed the first time around, but then like every other time I've watched it, I'm like,
Really?
Oh, really?
yeah.
I'm
The
other
more
way
I watch it, the more
around.
bored I am. You know?
Hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, we'll have a debrief of our own.
Yeah.
Thanks for
It's,
tuning in to The Tomb, everyone. We are the Wormhole Extremists, and we'll see you soon.